All right, I have Garrison Cohen with me. Hello, Garrison.
Hey, Linda.
There is grace. Really? What does that mean to you?
What does that mean to me? There is grace. Yeah. Grace comes when we learn to surrender to what is happening from a place of presence
Hmm.
and appreciation and integrity.
Wow.
And so it's basically, I see there's three levels to it.
Okay.
The first level, presence. Am I present to myself? Am I present to what's happening around me? And then can I appreciate it instead of trying to push it away or judge it or blame it or um, try to change it? Can I just appreciate it? Like, wow, this is a really unique situation. Wow, this is really electric. Wow, this is intense.
Nice.
And then from there, can I bring my integrity to it? Like, here's my truth. And what I find is that when we bring those three elements together, it creates a way of being in the world where we're flowing with truth and being empowered, and beauty and magic and miracles just unfold from that place.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Because it sounded so churchy. It's like, what is that?
Yeah,
And
I
I have a
know.
dog whose name is Grace. So, like, is it my dog? Is it churchy? Like, what is it? So that's super cool. I love it. My husband always says, uh, presence is the point where manifestation becomes action. From
Mm,
Ambassador Terry or Nichols. And I always say there's no such thing as manifestation. That word isn't even in the Bible. It's manifest, right? It's already here. It's right there. You're just not seeing it yet. And when you do that, oh, like manifest, there it is. So how do you feel about that word? Manifest.
manifest.
Yeah,
I like it. I'm pro manifest.
for sure.
Yeah. I always liked there was a word when people were exploring from the East Coast and
Mm-hmm.
taking wagons across the country to discover the country and get to the West Coast, and they called it the Manifest Destiny.
Ooh, I
Yeah, I
haven't
always
heard
liked
of
that.
that. That's so
Yeah.
cool. My, what would that be? My great great grandma or something. Um, we had a bonnet from the covered wagon days
Oh wow.
for her bonnet. Yeah, it's very cool. Okay, so we all have access to
Mm.
what?
We all have access. Yeah. We all have access to grace. We all have access to magic. We all have access to miracles. It's um it's not something we need to get to. It's
Okay,
more about just removing the layers between us and the fact that it's already always there.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Some
And it's
coaches
sort
will
of,
call it blocks sometimes, and
say it again.
some coaches might call some of that like blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. And
Yeah.
what is blind spots?
Hmm.
Yep. And then beyond that, there is what my husband and I in our work we call the active block, and Sigmund Freud was looking for it and never did find it, but he assumed something in early childhood, and we're finding that it's at the age of pre-language, and find that core whatever that happened that got walled off almost like amnesia, and energetically keeps drawing the same patterns into one's life over and over and over. And when we help our clients break in, it's like unplugging a chain of Christmas tree lights, and then it neutralizes, if you will, all of those events, even the ones that are setting off like PTSD and stuff like that. So, and PTSD events, one after another can be drawn in. That's why we have complex PTSD out there now too.
Wow. That's fascinating.
That's been cool.
Yeah.
So definitely slow down. We definitely get our clients to slow down.
Mm.
How do you see that word slow down?
Oh my gosh.
You
Slowing
know.
down is such a journey for me. Um,
Mm,
And I remember years ago working with someone who was just extraordinarily highly attuned and highly aware, and really, crossing over into deep psychic realms, who would tell me, Garrison, you have to slow way, way, way down. And when you think you're as slow as you can go, you need to slow down.
Before. Nice. I like it.
And it took
Slower
me
is faster, you know.
That's what it is. Well, a mentor of mine would often say, slow down to speed up.
Exactly.
And I really see the truth in that.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I slow down, the more I feel, instead of the tires spinning, the rubber is actually starting to really meet the road.
Yep.
And it's at a level of slowing down that I never even realized that I could go that slow, and experience so much momentum from doing so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, just think about a nap. When you're just super overwhelmed and you take a nap, you slow down so slow you go to sleep. That's like some low level, theta beta, all that stuff. Yeah. So, and then you get so much done because you're refreshed.
Yeah. And also the ability to slow down a task so that I can put my entire attention on it without being distracted by anything else. And then that thing gets done faster and with more quality. And then I can move on to the next thing. Whereas if I was focusing on a bunch of things at once, all of them would get done mediocrely,
right?
With great mediocrity.
There you
go. And I wouldn't feel good about it, and they probably wouldn't really get fully done.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It really is like slowing down speeds you up.
Yeah, and the brain, literally can't multitask. And you tell a woman you can't multitask, and she'd look at you like, are you nuts? Because if you look at kind of the brain scans of men and women, they're different. And a woman does have more of the brain setup, if you will, than a typical female, to do like what looks like at least a multitasking. And men are really awesome at slowing down in comparison to women. They go in their man cave, or they just are so much better with relaxing. Like somebody said, women have all these drawers, men have one drawer. I love that one. Okay, we were sure I get in trouble with that one. Okay, so layers of distraction. Whoa, yep. Tell us what your thoughts are on layers of distraction.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was what we were kind of starting to talk about, with what we have to move through in order to slow down. And there's so many things in the world today that are designed to pull us out of ourselves.
Right.
With all of the media, with walk into any 7-Eleven, there's no real food there. It's all just novelty edible products.
Yeah, you'll be hungry after you eat it, for sure.
And you'll also feel terrible.
Well, yeah, that too.
All of these things are just made in labs, and
pure chemicals.
There's no real nutrition. They're just designed to taste interesting and fill us
and make you want more.
Yeah. There's that, like with MSG and all kinds of things.
Yeah,
there's just so many layers of distraction in the world, and it's pulling us away from ourselves.
Yeah.
So to go in the opposite direction is really going against the I don't know if I want to say going against the tide, but it's definitely going in the opposite direction of the way society is kind of losing itself. And in a way, that's a superpower, to not lose yourself in the world today.
Have you heard of the fear of missing out?
Oh, yeah.
The FOMO. Totally. Get used to FOMO. Slow down, get used to FOMO, you'll be good.
Yeah. Well, have you heard of JOMO?
No.
JOMO is the joy of missing out.
Oh, I've heard the full thing, but I haven't heard it with the acronym. That's great. Yeah, of course, right? Let's do it. Good. Oh, thank you so much, Garrison. This has been great.
Thanks, Linda.